is the lack of practice part of the reason we had the injuries? Like basically everything they do is a walkthrough, pretty much, isn't it? Like they're not tackling, so I mean it's kind of hard to go. I mean, I'm not saying you should be banging heads every day, but
Let me tell you,
like
their training camps are light. Harbaugh's were like 2.5 hour days with some live tackling. Shanahan's are about 90 minutes with no live tackling. But what I've heard though, Chase Claypool mentioned it, that the Niners mid-season practices, they have a day of full pads every week. And some teams knock that off. Some teams will go full walkthrough like from week 8 on because players are so sore. So what I feel is that the training camp is light and the midseason practices are actually a little bit taxing compared to other teams.
But they still not tackling, right?
No.
You're putting your pads on.
Never. They don't do it. I did.
Like, I mean, where do you get hurt at? Like, you get hurt tackling. Like, you practice tackling isn't just for the tackler. It's for the person getting tackled. It's learning to get hit. It's learning how to go down to keep from getting twisted up. Now, you can't avoid somebody just stepping on the back of your leg or something like that. But how you go down, learning when to give up, as ED said, Emmitt Smith said, like learning when the journey is over.
Yes.
Like I think that's a lot of Kittle's injuries. It's like being the tough guy. Like I'm gonna get that extra 5 yards. It might cost me the rest of the season, but I got that. I'm a yak, bro.
That's right. And when do the injuries happen? Not in practice when you're practicing tackling. They happen in games when you haven't practiced tackling. Exactly. That's when the injuries happen. Yeah.
Exactly. Because you're not used, your body isn't used to being tackled. It isn't used to going down.
That's right. That's right.
Quarterbacks get hurt because they don't get tackled in practice. The league protects them, so they rarely get hit during the game. So that's why when they get hit a lot of times, it's catastrophic.
Jimmy got hit 12 times all season and got hurt twice. 12.
Right.
That's it.
I mean, they were calling that first one, and I think against the Jets, dirty, and I really didn't see it. Like, the guy was just trying to make a play. They was like, oh, did you see him down at his ankles? Like, Jimmy just looked awkward the whole year. He didn't look right. I think Tom Brady was in his head. Like, they tried to get rid of you.
Yeah. They tried to get rid of you. You were in the mindset that you were going to replace Tom Brady in New England. And they kind of led you on and said, yeah, we like you, man. You're going to be the heir apparent. Then they ship you out to San Francisco, and then Brady's coming for your job. When you thought you were going to replace him, it must be tough.
Brady said, man, you got a nice thing going out there in San Francisco.
I'm actually from out there. I think I'll take your job. I like that. Should have given it to him.
And now I'm hearing, like, nobody said this before, but now I'm hearing it was money. Like,
that's what I heard. I heard it was basically a difference in a few million, like 7 or 8, which is ridiculous. Everyone's saying that since Jimmy Garoppolo got hurt and he's slow, that the Niners need a mobile quarterback. Well, Tom Brady's not fast. He didn't get hurt this year. It seems to me you just need a quarterback who can protect himself on the field. I don't think Jimmy can anymore. When the protection breaks down, he looks like a chicken with his head cut off, man. I don't know what he's doing.
I don't know what he's looking at anymore. Like, it's just like he doesn't see it. I think like Kyle turned him into a robot though, in some way.
He questions all of his instincts now, and now he has none.
Right. Yeah, he spent that whole offseason trying to learn the offense and just being turned into a robot, like, do this, this, and this. And Kyle doesn't leave him really any flexibility to improvise or, to do other things. Like,
he did so well in 2017 to get the contract. Improvise.
Right. Exactly. And I mean, that's what people don't understand. Yeah, he might have had the same slight turnover issue in 2017. But if you look at that 5-game stretch and tell me you've seen that Jimmy again since then, like you delusional. That was a different guy. That was a literal gunslinger, not throwing the ball a lot. Like he was just out there like trading bullets with the best of them at the moment, shot for shot. Like people point to that Saints game. That Saints game was a lot of run. Like we were scoring, but it wasn't like Jimmy G dropping back and out dueling Drew Brees. Even that final play, it was 4th and 1. Like we were already struggling on that drive. Like we had barely made Kittle's turn that into a big play.
And when the pass was behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it wasn't Jimmy G, like just was really like put the team on his back. We should have won that Baltimore game, whether or not, I mean, it's just that's what I was trying to say at the end of last year. Like this year is what I was talking about. It's
Yes.
why when that opportunity is there, you have to seize it.
Yeah.
Like
it's not as simple as, hey, run it back. No, it doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way. And I think people are starting to understand that. Yeah. People get hurt. Like look at the Chiefs. Like they're about to run it back. Like you mad at them, but look at them. Like they're sitting with a bye week. You know, that's why our injuries, like you can't use the excuse of we went to the Super Bowl. So did they. I think they lost more people opting out for COVID than we did.
Right. That's right. You know, they lost starting offensive lineman. That's right. Duvernay parted.
Man, so that's what I meant by going back to the beginning. If you can't understand your weaknesses, understand your flaws, how are you ever going to get better? You have to recognize those things to improve them.
And their attitude coming into this year was, we don't really have weaknesses.
We don't. We don't have no weaknesses. Like you were tiptoeing all last year on Bosa. Yeah. Like hell, do you remember at the end of the year when everybody was happy when he got back up?
Yep.
Like, oh, he got it. So why should we be that shocked this year he went down?
Yeah.
Because he showed he had an injury history coming in. D Ford, everybody pointed to the fact that he had a problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we was like, we can deal with it.
One more thing. People point to Kyle Shanahan's 13-3 season as proof that he's a hell of a head coach. The Niners did a lot of things to go 13-3. They made a lot of like mortgaging the future for one good season moves to get that 13-3. They traded for D Ford, who the Chiefs knew had injury issues. They signed Cohn Alexander off a torn ACL. I mean, they made a lot of like desperation, gotta make the playoffs move. They traded for Emmanuel Sanders. I mean, they weren't going to win a chance. And now you look at a team that's like, who signed for 2022? Like this is you're rebuilding.
Pittsburgh left him out.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of guys. I mean, they to me, I felt like they have to make the playoffs in 2019 to keep their jobs. So they made a bunch of moves, a bunch of win now moves. It almost got them to a Super Bowl victory. It didn't, and now they're kind of like the Rams.
I mean, you can't look at Cohn Alexander and say we knew what we had in Warner, but we still did Cohn Alexander.
Right, they had no idea what they had in Warner.
Right. Yeah, maybe he gave them a little bit as far as like mental, like, hey, Warner, like, get with it, hot boys. Like, maybe he encouraged him a little bit, like Sanders with Debo. But go back to Debo. Like I was saying the other day, like, it hurts me to watch A.J. Brown.
That was my guy.
That guy is so good. Like, and we all saw it again. Like, we're watching this guy. We're like, yeah, Metcalf is at Mississippi State, Ole Miss, but look at this guy, A.J. Brown, and what he does. Like, you don't think Jimmy could succeed with a guy like that?
Everyone can succeed with a guy like that. And you like Debo Samuel too. But Debo Samuel has injury issues that were apparent in college.
But what
and Jalen Hurts has injury issues that were apparent in college. You bring this on yourself.
He's a Cal. What is Debo? A Cal guy from where?
Yep.
Senior Bowl.
Same with Hurts.
He's a Cal guy. Draft that guy.
Yep.
Yeah. Which I won't lie. The Senior Bowl did aid them that year too.
It did.
Like they got a lot of players out of that, being able to see them early and in practice, whatnot, before the draft even came up. But yeah, again, it's chasing that tail. Like you're saying, you're chasing the Dante Pettis mistake. You drafted him, like you saw something. He was one of the best punt returners, but you never let him return punts. Like
right. Same with Ayuk. You won't let him return punts.
Yeah, we saw one or two punt returns, which I won't lie. I was nervous about him getting hurt with the way this season is gone. But it's kind of like you say, like you can't play scared, and that's what they do a lot of times. Like people think they're risky, and they're not. Like, I mean, it looks like a risk later on, but they're not like putting themselves out there, like drafting a quarterback in the first round, like we're saying with Mahomes, with Watson. Like that has to work. You can't miss on first round quarterbacks and usually survive in a job in the NFL. So it's a risk there. But they didn't want to take that risk. They went the safe route with somebody I coached in summer school, John Lynch, with Solly. You know what I'm saying? Like